Hello everyone, my name is Gabrielle Garcia and I'm showing you my professional portfolio for this class. So I had updated my picture since we had took pictures at my first year teaching, so I added that in to change it to make it more educational. And so I changed my picture, and then I have my resume and different ways that you can contact me on my website. And so we're going to go to my page for the class, and so it's just on the sidebar, and it's just titled under the school name, the class name I mean. And I ended up changing up how I did my tabs because I was inspired by some of the students in our classroom, and I thought it was really cool. So like before, I would have like one thing under each tab, and so I was like, you know what, let me change it because it was getting kind of packed. And so I changed how I did it, and so here's how I did the new layout. I did it for the classroom instead of making 5 separate tabs per assignment, and so I thought it would save space. And so I did it under multimedia since that's our class, and I have the multimedia research summary and analysis on, and then the student-centered lesson with the LTDE model. I put the papers on top, that way they're like pretty similar things. And so I ended up doing the summary on the left, which is how I ended up doing my research about how we have different multimedia usage in schools, and using this really opened my eyes about various multimedia and their particular usage, which I didn't necessarily know that each multimedia had a specific purpose. I mean, kind of like thought about it, but like to know like it actually was made for a specific thing is really good. And so I will be able to apply this knowledge that I learned from the different multimedia to help implement it better to aid students in various content areas. And so me applying it in my learning is the next thing of student-centered lesson, incorporating multimedia. And since we're learning about drama, that's what my lesson was about. And so the idea was the students will make a script, and instead of recording their drama, it's more like they were being able to do the behind the scenes of like if they were going to use multimedia of incorporating pictures in the background to play behind them, or having sound system that they can use that I would ideally just play on my phone or the smart board, but they would do the research of putting what would they like to enhance their presentation. And so when using this model helped me understand as an educator to explain step by step of a process in a project, and help me reflect what students may need more clarification on different areas and what I could do to offer as support during those times. And then I would be able to apply this in my career to differentiate for students and improve planning for students in projects. And then on the bottom, I did a separate one, just again because when I did all 5, it was like overwhelming going back to design principles, so I broke them up. And so the first thing is collaborative storyboard, and I absolutely love the process of making the storyboards. It's just something special about being able to see the whole process, and it's starting from scratch to the final thing, and it was just so fun. So I definitely recommend creating storyboards in your classroom, as it can build multiple skills at once, from collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving, and even boosting creativity. And then the principles of design graphic organizer. I think everybody should know all the principles, simply again because if you're an educator and you're designing things for people, it's important to know the different things to make sure that your work is very able to be processed easier, and also like making it look nicer and not overwhelming, which is really important. And it can help many people, no matter who it is, benefit from what they're looking at. And again, so they don't get overwhelmed. And once you know all these things, I'm pretty sure 10 out of 10, you're going to feel confident about anything you create. And then the last thing is the student-centered multimedia tool, which I had did WordWall. And I just love teaching y'all about this tool because it helps so much with review, but it makes it so fun that the kids don't even realize that they're learning. And I use this resource for engagement in my classroom with different subjects. You can literally do anything. From grammar, reading, math is what we use it for, but you can do so many more. And this resource comes with different variations of review, which I explained in the video more in depth. But in my class, we mostly use the game show and the balloon pop, or a train one they have on there. And my students absolutely beg every time we learn something to do it. And if I say no, they're like, come on. So like literally they would enjoy learning 10 times more without using word wall. So I hope you enjoyed, and yes, thank you so much.